अपने शहर की लेटेस्ट खबरों के लिए न्यूज को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को दबाएं।
श्रीमती डिम्पल यादव।
Thank you, Speaker Sir, for giving me an opportunity today to speak here. I would like to start from the Delhi Nirbhaya case, which took place in December 2012, which shook the whole nation, sir. And within a month's time, Criminal Amendment Act 2013 was passed here. Sir, before me, many MPs here have given the suggestions, and I would also like to give the suggestions. Various forms of violence against women and children continue to be on an increase. According to the National Crime Records Bureau of India, reported incidents of crime against women have increased 6.4% during 2012. Crime against women is committed. Sir, I would like to bring to your notice that in every 3 minutes, crime against women is committed. Existing measures to protect women and children against violence have proved to be inadequate, ineffective, and biased against the victims. If left unaddressed, these human rights violations pose serious threat to the current and the future generation. Sir, if a woman is raped, it is not only a physical insult to her, sir, it's a mental insult, and it is also a psychological insult to her. Studies show that children who have witnessed or have been subjected to violence are more likely to become victims and sufferers of agony. Atrocities against children, sir, I would like to speak upon this now. Children who by definition require care and guidance of their adults are among the most vulnerable and most innocent victims of the crimes. Crime against children include physical and emotional abuse, neglect and exploitation. Child-related crimes often are perpetrated by parents, by the neighbors, by the relatives, and by those who know the child, sir. India's National Crime Records Bureau publishes detailed crime statistics in an annual report called Crime in India since 1953. Crime in India 2010 includes that data that relates specially to the crime against children. The national average rate of crime against children was 2.3 per 100,000 people. For Delhi, the rate was 19.8 per 100,000. The state of Madhya Pradesh, with 6.1% of the population, was responsible for 18.4% of the crimes against children. Delhi, with 1.5% of the population, was responsible for 13.6% of the crime against children. Kidnapping and abductions cases represent 40.3% of the crimes against children. Rape cases represent 20.5% of crimes against children. 8.9% of all the rape victims were girls under the age of 14. In 97.3 cases of all the rape cases, offenders were known to the victim, were family members, were relatives, were neighbors. The states of Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra were accounted for 35.2% of the child rape cases. The number of cases for procuration of minor girls increased by 186.5% from 2009. Sir, the framers of the Indian Constitution took note of the adverse and discriminatory positions of women in the country and of the children in the society, and took special care to ensure that the state must take positive steps to give them equal status, sir. So many articles like Article number 14 and Article 15, 42, 47, 15, they were drafted to improve the women's and child situations in the country. Significant progress towards the protection of women from the violence has been made by the country and international levels as well, by lobbying by many women's rights movements, international organizations to civil society groups. As a result, worldwide governments and international as well as civil society organizations actively worked to combat the violence against women through a variety of programs. However, all these legislations and measures have fallen short of achieving the intended outcomes of reducing the atrocities against the women and children. This is evident from everyday incidents that take place around us from all the parts of the country. This clearly calls out for the need to change, need to improve, need to be more effective, and need to be more sincere. किस बारे में कहें आप बताएं? Why don't you talk to the speaker, ma'am?
Madam speaker,
Sir, let her talk to you and not to me.
Please address the chair.
Sir, political and communal बनाने का ही agenda है. I would like to put across some suggestive measures, ma'am. I would like to put some suggested measures to you, ma'am, to control the crime.
No cross talking, please. You please address.
I would like to put.
You please continue.
I would like to put some suggestive measures needed to curb crime against women. Ma'am, by vigorously enforcing the existing legislations relating to crime against women and children, like the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, Child Marriage Restraint Act, and many such acts, ma'am, it is very important for police personnel to be responsible for the implementation. The administration and police should play a very proactive role in detection and investigation of crime against women and ensuring that there is no underreporting of the cases. Special centers should be created to tackle such problems, ma'am. Ma'am, in Uttar Pradesh, ma'am, we have launched a special, Women's Power Helpline, number 1090.
It's not working.
Excuse me, it is working.
No cross talking, please.
No,
You please address the chair. It is not going in record. You please address the chair. No cross talking, please. No, it's a sensitive issue.
Sir,
let us understand the seriousness of it.
Yes. Yeah. Sir, this.
अरे शांत रहो अनुराग.
ठीक है अनुराग जी, आप बैठिए. You have your. I have their say. आप बैठिए, यादव जी आप बैठिए. You please address the chair.
Yes, I am.
नहीं इसीलिए मैं बोल दिया ना, आप बैठिए ना. Why you are disturbing her now? You please sit down. पप्पू जी, please sit down. Let her speak.
और कहाँ पे कंप्लेंट होगी? पुलिस अधिकारी ने कंप्लेंट की है.
ठीक है, आपके स्पीकर है ना, वो बता देंगे.
Sir, this woman power line, sir, as we have named it.
बैठिए आप बैठिए कृपया. You please sit down. You please continue. Dimple ji, please continue.
Sir,
You address to chair. No cross talking, please.
Sir, it has worked in UP, sir. And sir, the number of complaints that were registered were 2,46,110. Out of this, sir, 2,15,240 cases were solved. Sir, by increasing the overall representation of women in the police forces, we can make a huge difference, as our Honourable Minister has already suggested. Sensitizing the law enforcement machinery towards crime against women by well-structured training programs, meeting and seminars for police personnel at all the levels, as well as for the functionaries of the criminal judicial system. Develop a community monitoring system to check the cases of violence, abuse and exploitation and take necessary steps to curb the same. Sir, involving the community at large in creating such awareness programs is going to make a huge difference. Sir, organizing legal literacy and legal awareness camps, sir, this is a very important point. By providing them the knowledge regarding the laws which are available to strengthen us, sir, it is going to change the scenario. So there should be no delay whatsoever in the registration of an FIR in all the cases. Sir, this is my first speech for 5 minutes.
I understand, but whoever are speaking, even after you, they are all women speakers, and there is a huge.
Sir, ये maiden speech है, sir, please.
Sir, 5 minutes.
आप बैठे ना, मैं नहीं उनको वकील मत चाहिए, मैं हूँ इधर, मैं हैंडल करता हूँ.
No delay. Sir, there should be no delay whatsoever in the registration of FIR in all the cases against women. Strict disciplinary actions to be taken against police personnel found wanting in these areas. So, ensure proper supervision to appropriate levels of cases of crime against women for the recording of FIR to the disposal of the case by the competent court. Cases should be thoroughly investigated and charge sheets against the accused persons should be filed within 3 months from the date of occurrence without compromising on the quality of investigation. The health departments of the state government should step up rape crisis centers and specialized sexual assault treatments at appropriate places. The specialized sexual
Now
assault...
you please conclude, madam.
Okay. Sir. Okay, 2 minutes, sir, I will conclude. Sir, sir, steps should be also taken for the protection against the crime against children. First, to decrease the vulnerability of children to sexual exploitation. Second, to develop a nationwide capacity to provide a rapid, effective and measured investigative response to the crimes against children. And third, to enhance the capabilities of the state and local law enforcement investigators through programs, investigative assistance and task force operations. So we have to change this all together. And I would like to
Okay,
quote...
thank you.
Sir, last line, sir.
No, okay.
सर दो नेताजी वैसे ही खुश हैं, बोलने पे ही खुश हैं. नहीं.
No cross talking, please.
कोई बात
Now
नहीं.
you have to conclude in
Yes,
half
I'm
second.
concluding, sir. Sir, Robert Forrest said this famous line. He was a poet. Woods are lovely, dark and green. I would like to say it again. Woods are lovely, dark and green. It's deep and green. Okay, thank you. But we have a promise to keep. We all here have a promise to keep. And miles to go before we sleep. And miles to go before we sleep. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.